My name is Nikki Carlberg. I am a care coordinator with Chautauqua County Mental Hygiene. I like working with people. I like the idea of being able to be helpful, bringing people some hope. I think a lot of times what we deal with when you're working with mental health are people going through difficult circumstances and they don't have a lot of hope. And so we can offer a little hope by just being a support to them, by letting them know they're not alone, by letting them know what resources that they have, and sometimes that can make a huge difference. I think I just like working with a variety of different people. I like seeing people from different walks of life, hearing their stories, getting to meet people, but also providing a little assistance, a little hope for them when they need it. I like the hands-on part of my job of seeing a problem and being able to tackle that problem, offer resources and solutions. I think that regardless of where you come from, what your circumstances are, we all go through difficult life experiences. We have things that happen, and we're all subject to that affecting our mental health in one shape or another at any time in our life. And I think being able to have somebody that you can talk to, an unbiased observer, to help you kind of see what steps you need to take yourself. Not maybe necessarily, I think we oftentimes see counselors as someone to give us answers, but it's really to help us figure out those answers for ourselves and kind of break things down for us in a way that doesn't seem so overwhelming. I think that that's a hard one for me to answer because I don't necessarily think that they always are. Depending on the agencies that provide them, I think there's such a high need for services right now. I think that can be somewhat of a struggle. I know with our clinic, I'm fairly confident when I call and I have somebody who needs to get in that they're going to be seen right away. I know that staff are going to work hard to try to meet that person's need where they're at, whether that's crisis or otherwise. I think that the services are there if people want them and are willing to reach out and ask for help. I think it depends on the client. I think some people are obviously more comfortable talking about their mental health and requesting assistance, but yeah, I think there's a lot of people that it's hard for them to seek out help. I think that just makes all of us vulnerable when we have to say that there's maybe something that we're not managing well or that is kind of overwhelming us, and when we don't know where to turn, then that can be a stressor. And so I think that sometimes people do struggle with asking for help, and I think that's one of the great things about case management is that we can kind of help walk alongside people as they're kind of going through that process and offer encouragement and support. I think that, maybe not in the global, like walking around telling everyone about your mental health, but I think in our small groups and those close, trusted friends and individuals, being real, being honest, having those people in our lives that we can say when we're having a bad day or when we're struggling, I think helps take away that stigma when we can look at somebody else and be like, oh my goodness, you've been through that too. I know exactly what you're feeling. I think we start realizing that we all go through things and we all process things differently, and that's okay. I see that a lot, like when you think about when you become a mother and you think you go through struggles and you're like, you hear somebody else and you're like, oh my gosh, it's not just me. You think you're the only one who has those problems. But I think the same comes with mental health, is when we can be honest and transparent with those people that are close to us, that are trusted, friends and family, then some of that stigma starts to go away. Well, I hope that somebody can, they get that nice, courteous feedback right from the beginning, that feeling that somebody actually cares and wants to help. And that hopefully they can feel like that need has been met, or at least they're taking that first step to addressing what their concerns are. And we take things with some humility and treat people with the respect, at the very least, that they deserve. I think then people feel welcomed and can hopefully have enough confidence to address whatever needs they have. That's extremely important. I think that in order for somebody to truly be able to open up to you, they have to trust you. They have to believe that you have a positive regard for their outcome and their well-being. A lot of times we're asking people to share, what's their biggest stressors, the biggest, challenges of their life. And I think to make sure, not like we need to know every detail, but just to express that we care about the outcome of their situation, that we want to see positive things for them. We want to see them succeed and be happy with the goals that they've set for themselves. I think a lot of the people that I've worked with who've been hesitant in the beginning are the people who are usually the first ones to say, I'm so glad I made that call, or I made that step, or I got engaged. I think a lot of times people don't realize how much services and help is out there until they take that first step. And then I think sometimes they're even overwhelmed with, I wish I would have done this sooner. I wish I had known exactly what these services were, because I could have used them earlier or beforehand. And I think that most people are pleasantly surprised. I also always encourage people, like, these services are all voluntary. So, there's no harm in taking that risk, because you can always choose to stop services at any time if you feel like they're not beneficial, but that's not usually the case. I think most people find that they're helpful.